Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Jai Shri Radha Girdhari Bhagavan ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Jai. Shri Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswamini Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So how's everyone doing? Our beginners program devotees and everyone. Our leaders program devotees also are doing well. Yes? Make me hear you, please. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. We don't have others coming. What's happening? Earthquake was in Delhi. Is there something happened there or what? Right? Not much, I think. All right. Okay, so now, do we know where we finished last time? Mayuresh, do you remember? Anandji, do you remember?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, you remember? Very good. Very good. Let's hear. Where were we last time?
Therefore, there is no peace in any society, human world.
Okay, okay. Everyone is perplexed. All right, hold on. Let me search it out here now. And we will quickly start reading through this. Do you remember any important points, what we discussed last week, please? Just a quick recap. Whatever you remember. Anandji, Mayuresh?
Last week you told, Prabhuji, you told about Grah Medi and Grahastha. So, Grahastha is as good as sannyasi. You established as Grahastha as good as sannyasi.
Yes, Grihastha is as good as sannyasi. That was our point there, yeah. Okay. Yes, Mayuresh, anything?
We also discussed about probably women's rights.
Women's rights.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, what do we discuss about that?
As per the probably our Vedic culture, actually women's have more rights, and how that is conflicting with the modern thinking. We discussed about that, probably.
Yes. Okay. All right. Now, who would like to today read through this, please? Any volunteers, please?
I can read, probably.
All right. So here we go. Everyone is perplexed.
Everyone is perplexed by the same questions about earning and spending, but ultimately one must depend on the mercy of Mother Nature. When there is a scarcity in production or there are disturbances caused by providence, the poor plan making politicians blame it on cruel nature, but carefully avoid studying how and by whom the laws of nature are controlled. The Bhagavad Gita, however, explains that the laws of nature are controlled by the absolute personality of Godhead. God alone is the controller of nature and the natural law. Ambitious materialists sometimes examine a fragment of the law of nature, but they never care to know the maker of the law. Sorry, probably maker of these laws. Most of them do not believe in the existence of an absolute person or God who controls the laws of nature. Rather, they simply concern themselves with the principles by which different elements interact, but they make no reference to the ultimate direction which makes such interactions possible. They have no relevant questions or answers in this regard. The second of the Vedanta Sutras, however,
Just 1 second.
yeah,
Just hold on for this, okay? What did you understand so far in this paragraph, please? You want to summarize in your own words?
so Prabhuji, absolute personality of Godhead or Krishna, uh, he controls all our natural systems, all our natural laws and regulations. But whenever there is a calamity, these could be avoided with the preparation and planning. But our politicians or so-called managers, blame it, uh, they blame it on the nature. So they don't understand that there is a absolute controller over all these laws.
Good, very good, very good. Very good point. Do you know there are there are actually organizations which look at things saying that we are all connected. So far, we're thinking we are not connected. I live in my own island. You live in your own island. I do whatever I want to do. I don't care about you. You don't care about me. It's all right. But now they realize, no, we're all connected. Birds are connected with us. So also insects are connected with us. Germs, everything is connected with us. Plants. So we have to be very careful in how we deal with them. So that is a point which has been made here. You're very right. Anand ji, what do you think? आपको कुछ और कहना है इसके बारे में?
हाँ प्रभु जी, ये सब हम लोग आपस में इंटरकनेक्टेड हैं, कहीं पे भी हों, किसी भी जगह हों, मदर नेचर की वजह से इंटरकनेक्टेड हैं.
या मदर नेचर की वजह से इंटरकनेक्टेड है. ये सही है, गलत भी है. नेचर किसकी है, उससे हम कनेक्टेड हैं. So yes, you are absolutely right in one way that we are connected with nature. In nature, everything has got its role to play. Prabhupada would say, I remember Prabhupada said once, Prabhupada walking and devotee said, what is this? Prabhupada said, this plant. The devotee said, oh, this is weed, useless. Prabhupada, this is useless, weed. Prabhupada said, you are useless. This is not useless. You are useless. There's nothing is useless in Krishna's world. As Prabhupada said. Now, which is so true. It's so true. We have to understand this. But to understand this from a different perspective, people have their own ways of thinking. We cannot be arrogant. We can't be arrogant about it. Yeah. Okay. That's the point. Anyone else say anything on this before we move on? No? Okay, let's go. Okay.
God alone is the controller of nature and the natural laws. Ambitious materialists sometimes examine a fragment of law of nature, but they never care to know the maker of these laws. Most of them do not believe in the existence of an absolute person or God who controls the laws of nature.
We read this, but it's good. No problem. It's a good point to read it. No problem. Yeah.
Rather, they simply concern themselves with the principles by which different elements interact, but they make no reference to the ultimate direction which makes such interactions possible. They have no relevant questions or answers in this regard. The second, the second of the Vedanta Sutras, however, answers the essential question about Brahman by asserting that the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Transcendence, is he from whom everything is generated. Ultimately, he is the Supreme Person. Not only is the foolish Grahamedi ignorant of the temporary nature of the particular type of body he has obtained, but he is also blind to the actual nature of what is happening before him in the daily affairs of his life. He may see his father die, his mother die, or relative or neighbor die, yet he does not make the relevant inquiries about whether or not the other existing members of his family will die. Sometimes he thinks and knows that all the members of his family will die today or tomorrow, and that he also will die. He may know that the whole family show, or for that temporary bubble in the air, having no permanent value.
No, again. He may know that the whole family show.
He may know that the whole family show, or for that matter, the whole show of community, society, nation, and all such things, is but a temporary bubble in the air, having no permanent value. Yet he is mad after such temporary arrangements and does not concern himself with any relevant inquiries. He has no knowledge as to where he has to go after his death. He works very hard for the temporary arrangements of his family, society, or nation, but he never makes any future arrangement either for himself or for others who will pass away from this present phase of life. In a public vehicle like a railway carriage, we meet and sit down together with some unknown friends and become members of the same vehicle for a short time, but in due course we separate, never to meet again. Similarly, in a long sojourn of life, we get temporary sitting accommodation in a so-called family, country, or society. But when the time is up, we are unwillingly separated from one another, never to meet again. There are so... Yeah.
Just stop here. Okay, good. Thank you. What do you understand by this? In your own words?
So in this life, we have family, friends, we have our society, or as the text said, like nation. We may feel patriotism, like we may feel belong to the family or society, but this is temporary, just for this life. After that, we will have to leave everything behind, willingly or unwillingly. So we must focus on what comes after death. So we have to inquire and study the scriptures to understand what is happening and what is going to happen. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anandji, what do you think?
इसमें सर प्रभु जी ग्रह मेदी को ब्लाइंड बताया गया है, ब्लाइंड से उसका कंपैरिजन किया गया है कि जिसमें अपने सामने देख रहा है कि हमारी फैमिली है, हमारे फ्रेंड्स हैं, वो आते हैं और जाते हैं, इस वर्ल्ड में, मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में आते हैं और जाते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी वो इंक्वायर नहीं करता है अपनी रियल पोजीशन के लिए कि मेरा क्या होने वाला है आगे, उसके बारे में कोई नॉलेज नहीं गेन करता है, टेम्परेरी अरेंजमेंट्स को ही देखता रहता है, उसी में फंसा रहता है.
Okay, okay, good, thank you. From our other devotees, please, senior devotees, what do you think of this statement? These answers are right, but can we have other perspective on this?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, I was thinking in different angle that we have this reality that all we have are relative truths, and but the truth is something else. And now, when we come to know the truth, that so we can't sort of, we still have to fulfill our roles in our relative truths, and like if we have a family and we're living in a nation or something like that, but we need to learn that skill to how we can do our prescribed duties, and know the real goal in back of our mind. So what's the real, what's our real situation is, and what is real truth is. And same time we do our prescribed duties.
Okay. Okay, so you give a relation mainly from the point of view of how to lead life with this, with this knowledge. Okay.
Yes, to having like as Prabhupada said, that we all like in a train station, waiting room, we meet people and then we leave.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else, please? Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu. Anyone else, please? Are you listening? You beginners program should also listen to different aspects, different angles. Because all this is right. What you said is also right. Now, what they are going to give you is also right. A bit deeper, different angles. And Mataji, please, mothers also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, mother.
Just I think, Prabhuji, that we need to think about what is the purpose of life, because death is going to become, but why we are here. And according to the, when we think about the death, we should understand why we are here. What is the purpose of our life? That's, I think, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes, anybody else, please? Any other angle? No other angle? Okay, no other angle. So what about this other angle now? That what Prabhupada said, that we have our family we have a relationship, we've got our country we were born in. It is just for this body that we have got now. Okay? When the body finishes, all changes. That's what Maharaj Prabhu said. Maharaj said the same thing. So Anandji, okay, and sorry, Narada Mataji mentioned, Sanjay Prabhu mentioned that, okay, how to then be spiritual and then maintain the family and all those things also. How about this, that don't think only about the body, that we are, body being temporary. Think about our original existence, which is in the spiritual world, where we do not have the three modes of material nature. When you are out of the three modes of material nature, and how do you see things? That, oh, so many lifetimes I've taken birth in so many bodies, but it has got no relationship with me at all. Then what is my relationship with me? What is my relationship with me as a spirit soul? My relationship with the spirit soul is that I'm not this body. I never have had a body. This body which I've got, temporary is one thing, means it doesn't exist. Because my birth of my last body, I don't even remember. So I don't even remember what is the meaning of that then. It means that it has no existence. If you do not remember your near and dear ones of your past body, you may walk past them. You won't remember them. They won't remember you. How tragedy it is. Or how refreshingly correct it is. Fresh it is. That our identity as a spirit soul is not with this body. All our relationship which exists in the spirit soul is our spiritual relationships. And with whom it is related to? God, Creator, Krishna. And what is the relationship? That we have to find out. And that relationship which exists, then we are above the three modes of material nature. We are transcending this. You see? And we are living in that platform. Above the three modes of material nature. That's why then we see, okay, this relationship which we have got now is just like waiting in a train station, in the waiting room, where we all are waiting for our train to come. And the train comes, we go away, never to meet again. But while we are in the compartment, in the waiting room, I've got my place to sit. You've got your place to sit. I keep my place for my baggage. You have kept place for your baggage. You take care of your family. I take care of my family. We speak some few words. And we do not encroach in each other's territory also. If you have kept your baggage, I come and throw out the baggage and say, I'm going to sit here. It's not allowed. Not good. See, even there also we have got our lineage. This is mine. This is yours. The food that I open and eat is for me. You can't say, hey, I'll take it. I'm going to eat it. You can't say that. So at every level in this material world, at every stage in this material world, we have got this constant focus about my and mine, which does not exist in reality, because it's temporary. If it existed, then I would have remembered my past life and future life. Is it okay? I put a different twist there. You have any questions on this point? Did they explain clearly? Anandji? Maharesh, what do you think?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I understand.
Parth is studying or somewhere. Yeah, Tau called you to come. Tau must be hiding somewhere. Parth is hiding somewhere.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. No, Prabhu, I had some work, so I joined late.
Yeah, that's all right. I know. I understand. Good for you to join, anyways. All right. Okay. Anyone else say anything about our latest program before we move on? No? Okay. Well, I'll tell you the latest. I'll tell you. We are on level 3 now. Auckland is on shutdown for 3 days. Yeah. Rest of the country, level 2 shutdown. Auckland level 3 shutdown for 3 days. I had a feeling, you know. Anyway, let's continue. Let them shut down. We are open. And our online is best. Open anytime. We just need Wi-Fi, you know. Let all the scientists find out how to create Wi-Fi free and work very hard. We'll give them $50 a month subscription and use that for our preaching purposes, for our own purposes, our own sadhana. And when Krishna allows, we'll cook and distribute prasadam free. No problem. We are all happy. Yeah, we don't have any problems. Okay. All right. Okay, let's move on. Let's continue the discussion. From here.
There are so many questions relevant to our temporary arrangements in life and our friends in these temporary arrangements. But a man who is Grahamedi never inquires about things of a permanent nature. We are all busy making permanent plans in various degrees of leadership, without knowing the permanent nature of things as they are. Sripad Shankaracharya, who especially strove to remove this ignorance in society and who advocated the cult of spiritual knowledge in regard to the all-pervading impersonal Brahman, said in despair, children are engaged in playing, young boys are engaged in so-called love affairs with young girls, and the old are seriously thoughtful about adjusting a baffled life of struggle. But alas, no one is prepared to inquire relevantly into the science of Brahman, the absolute truth. Sri Sukdev Goswami, who was asked for direction by Maharaj Parikshit, responded to the king's relevant inquiries by advising him as follows. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagwan Ishvaro Hariham Shrotavayaham Kirtita Vyasaccha Smarat Vyasa Chechat Bhayam.
Good, very good. Well tried. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishwaro Harihi. Say, Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma
Tasmat Bharat Sarvatma
Bhagavan Ishwaro Harihi.
Bhagwan Ishvaro Harihi
Shrotavyaha Kirtitavyascha
Shrotavyah Kirtitvayascha
Smartavyascha Bhayam
Smarta Vyaveshchete Bhayavayam
Chechata Bhayam. Yeah.
Chechatabayam. Yeah.
Very good. Please continue.
O descendant of Bharata, it is true duty of mortal men to inquire about, hear about, glorify, and meditate upon the personality of Godhead, who is the most attractive person because of his fullness in opulence. He is called Hari because he alone can undo the conditional existence of living being. If we at all want to be freed From conditional existence, we must make relevant inquiries about the absolute truth, so that he may please to bestow upon us perfect freedom in life. Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam,
Canto 2,
Canto 2, chapter 1, verse 5.
Very good. Yes.
Sri Sukdev Goswami has particularly used 4 words in regard to absolute personality of Godhead. These words distinguish the absolute person or Parabrahman from other persons who are qualitatively one with him. The absolute personality of Godhead is addressed as Sarvatma or all pervading because no one is aloof from him. Although not everyone has this realization. The personality of Godhead, by his plenary representation, resides in everyone's heart as Paramatma, the super soul, along with each individual soul. Therefore, every individual soul has an intimate relationship with him. Forgetfulness of this eternally existing intimate relationship with him is the cause of conditional life since time immemorial. But because he is Bhagwan or the Supreme Personality, he can at once reciprocate the responsive call of a devotee. Moreover, because he is perfect person, his beauty, opulence, fame, strength, knowledge, and renunciation are all unlimited sources of transcendental bliss for the individual soul. The individual soul becomes attracted by all these different opulences when they are imperfectly represented by other conditioned souls. But the individual soul is not satisfied by such an imperfect representation, and therefore he perpetually seeks the perfect one. The personality of Godhead's beauty has no comparison, nor do his knowledge and renunciation. But above all, he is Ishvara, or the supreme controller. We are at present being controlled by the police action of this great king. This police control is imposed upon us because of our disobedience of law. But because the Lord is Hare, he is able to cause the disappearance of our conditional life by giving us full freedom in spiritual existence. It is therefore the duty of every man to make relevant inquiries about him and thus go back to Godhead.
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Right. Hare Krishna. So what do you understand about this last paragraph, Maharish?
We have came to this material world because we forgot our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. So it is our duty to inquire about this conditioned life and about the absolute truth. So by mercy of Krishna, then we can realize our the spiritual relationship with the Krishna, which is the only permanent in nature. Like as we discussed about in last paragraph about how we have to leave this material life behind, and everything has a temporary existence. So that connection is the only permanent thing in our life. So we have to inquire about the absolute truth and study the scriptures so that we understand how we can realize that relationship. And Prabhuji, and as we inquire, the Krishna will then help us realize that how to escape from this conditioned life. Prabhuji, yeah.
Okay, good attempt. Thank you. Thank you. There's one point. We did not come to the material world forgetting Krishna. Now, in the world that we are living in, because of the transmigration of the body, we have got used to forgetting Krishna and think only about this body and its relationships. But after this body is dead, we forget about his relationships. When we get the next body, we forget about what the past body was. We don't care. But till the time we are aware, our alive, we are very careful. Okay, that's good. Anandji?
Yes, प्रभु जी. मॉर्टल मैन जो है उसकी ड्यूटीज जो हैं ऑलवेज इंक्वायर करने की हैं एब्सोल्यूट ट्रुथ के बारे में. उनको ग्लोरीफाई करना है, मेडिटेट करना है उनके ऊपर. और हर आदमी के अंदर सुपर सोल है, परमात्मा के रूप में मौजूद है भगवान, और उससे उनका रिलेशन, अपना रिलेशन जोड़ना है, उनके बारे में इंक्वायर करना है, जानना है. इस मॉर्टल बॉडी से नहीं बल्कि जो परमानेंट एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ है उससे जोड़ना है.
Thank you. Thank you. Parth, did you pick up what was discussed today now? This last paragraph?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Prabhu. The last paragraph I picked up that, we as souls are, seeking perfect knowledge, renunciation, and all these 6 qualities that are, in full in the Supreme Absolute. But in this material world, because it is imperfect, and not imperfect, but there is no one with all these qualities in full proportion as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we as souls are suffering because we are trying to find all those 6 qualities or all those opulences within this material world, and which is not possible. So that is what makes us frustrated, basically.
Yeah, good angle. You took a different angle today, which is good. Good attempt. And only thing is we are trying to achieve. Okay, we are not able to achieve. That's what you said. That is correct. And with that, although we are not achieved, we are thinking we have achieved. That is a problem. That's where the ego comes into play. That's why I may challenge you in the thinking, and you'll become angry with me. Your knowledge, you get angry with me, or I get angry with you. Because I don't have full knowledge, but I'm showing I've got full knowledge. You see, this is the problem. Okay, very nice, very nice. Well, all you big stalwart senior devotees, would you like to say something before we finish today's discussion? Your realizations, what we've discussed so far?
Well, one thing which you very nicely said is about our forgetfulness, that as soon as we finish our body, we forget everything. The next birth, we start fresh. So is it not something Krishna's arrangement, or this is our nature, bro?
Yeah. Krishna says that forgetfulness comes through me only, Remembrance comes through me. Vedeshu sarve rahame vedya. And before that, he says, sarvasya chaham rudhi sannivishto mata smriti gnanam apohanam cha. So this is Krishna's arrangement. That in the material world, if we want to live in this material world, you will have to forget. And he will help us to forget. But if we had to choose, we will never forget. We never forget somebody who has done wrong to us. You see, we choose what to forget. We may forget somebody who has done good to us. So that's why, yes, Krishna very mercifully arranges to say you forget about it. Otherwise, for how many lifetimes of animosity we'll be doing, Hey, that bird, I hate that bird. You go and chase the bird, and kill that bird. Or this dog, I'll go and let the dog, All those things we do, foolishness, So that's right. So this material world is so wrong, completely illogical, that those things which we have to forget to be peaceful will not forget. We will not forget that. You know? And those things which we have to remember to be happy, we will not remember that. Dasa Krishna says, forget about it. I'll give you forgetfulness. Remember now, focus upon live today. But we live with Bhutkal. You know? We live in Bhut, with the Bhut. Maharaj says, no? So that's correct. Okay. Hare Krishna. Yes, anyone else please want to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
So thank you very much for all this realization, and it's very nice discussion. Srila Prabhupada actually means this inquiry into the Brahman means is Srila Prabhupada actually mentioned this many times in his purports, and which is actually I actually realized after many years why it is so important, because before I start actually in this moment, like the realization I had is always a frustration. Even I grow up from the child to the adult, and I always used to think, what is this actually all going on? You know, every day I have to wake up, I have to do study. You know, I always concerned about, you know, finding a job, and somebody's actually, you know, shouting at me, and somebody's getting angry, upset all the time.
Yeah.
So I always used to get frustrated. I said, why I'm born? You know. I had this actually big frustration in my mind. Yeah, means what we actually mean to be. You know, where everybody's born here, and if we have to spend like this, there's no meaning to it. And
yes.
So like after actually studying all this, now I understand the Srila Prabhupada's point. Aham Brahmasmi. You know, one has to inquire actually. You know, what is the purpose of the life, and unless we don't do that, actually, we will not actually make any attempt in this actually direction to understand, you know, our position and who's controlling us, all that. So that's what I realized, Prabhuji. Like I used to stare at the sky, you know, so many stars and all that, and I say it cannot be unreal, you know. It's not, shouldn't be. It's that simple that actually, you know, everything began with this one blast, and we are actually all happen to be chance, you know. And that's what actually material science teaches us, but which is actually now we realize that is so wrong. And even now, actually, even Parth mentioned that actually because Krishna has this all 6 opulences, and which is so true, we are always attracted by one of these opulences within the material world, which is not so perfect. Somebody's rich, somebody's powerful, and somebody has some talent. And we also want to have that, you know, we are attracted to that, but we are always frustrated because it is imperfect. Because Krishna is perfect, and Krishna has all these 6 opulences in one, and which is also unlimited. And that's what actually makes him actually Bhagwan. And that's where actually Krishna attracts everyone. And that is actually what we understand. And also the brutal thing that I realized from this actually, that the soul and super soul and actually Krishna and this material world is that, as you said, that actually we are dealing with our family, you know. Actually, we're so worried about our family. We have very intimate relationship with everyone. Even in our program, actually, as devotees, we have very intimate relationship, attachment. And once we finish this body, we forget everything, you know. And in the next life, even if we cross each other, we don't even recognize each other, you know. This very thought is very brutal, you know. And that's the reality of this actually material existence. So that's why Prabhupada says that we are always upside down in this material world, you know. We are never comfortable. So this inquiry will only save us, you know. Actually, that's why we come to the pages of this Bhagavad Gita and Srila Prabhupada's actual teachings.
Jai, Jai. Atato Brahma Jignasa. Inquiry into supreme absolute truth. Very good realization. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Anybody else, please? No? Okay. We'll wait for 5 seconds. I think everybody's in shock now with the lockdown in Auckland. You're going to think, what about my job? What will this? What about that? Temporary material nature. There we go.
Only 3 days lockdown, bro.
Only 3 days lockdown.
Not eternal yet.
Yeah, not eternal. Only 3 days. Only 3 days. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So we continue our discussion today. Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaurchandra Bhagwan ki jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Nitai Gaurchandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Okay, now let us sing Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us. Whose turn it is today? Who's going to sing today?
It's Arnav's turn, Prabhuji.
Arnav's father is missing. I don't know whether he is there. We'll wait for 5 seconds. Okay, anyone else, please? Let's just move on. Last time, who Subhadra sung? Last week Subhadra sung?
No. Prabhuji, I'm about to pray.
Yes, he's come now.
Yes, he's here.
Finally, I know what's going on. Chill out, man. You're seeing you after a long time. Okay, please sing. Start.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If a room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
And if we are dirty,
If we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we are not happy.
Wasting time
Wasting time
is the greatest crime,
is the greatest crime.
because wasted time
Wasted time
means a wasted mind.
is a wasted mind.
So best use your time
So let's use your time
when you're in your prime,
when you are
and your whole life
your whole life
will be sublime.
be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there's nothing wrong.
then there's nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
But if your health is gone,
that's a different song.
that's a different song.
But if your character dies,
But if your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior
Only saintly behavior
lets humanity thrive.
lets humanity thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna
We must always remember Krishna,
and never forget him too.
never forget him too.
We still practice this with so many things to do.
How are we to practice this with so many things?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here is the greatest clue.
And here's the greatest clue.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely.
So listen very closely.
And make your thinking sharp.
Make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live it with Krishna won't depart.
Learn how we can live in what so Krishna won't depart.
If something's due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
And whatever's due today,
Whatever's due today,
do it now, don't delay.
do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy
Your friends might be lazy
for doing bad things,
for doing bad things,
but you think again,
but you think again,
Don't follow them.
Don't follow them,
And you will win the end.
and you will win in the end.
Whatever work we're given,
Whatever work we are given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
This is how to live, to work and to play. We must learn to live this way, Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you see Krishna every day.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing in thoughts with him with our hearts full of love.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. It's the only way this world will ever be complete.
So chant this name, his glories and his. It's the only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question.
Now please ask this greatest question.
And find this greatest clue.
And find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna.
You can only remember Krishna.
Krishna remembers you.
Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
जय जोड़ने शिला महाविष्णु गोस्वामी महाराज शिला गुरुदेव की जय। जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की जय। जय गौरचंद्र प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। कृष्ण भूतले श्रीमती महाविष्णु गोस्वामी के नामिने नमो विश्ववतार कृष्ण भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी के नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी कुशाय निर्विशेष नरि कुशाय साय। Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time, Krishna willing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.